I know it's late, but I'm frustrated. I am beyond frustrated. I'll wait to see who comes in before I start another rant. Oh my word. I don't know how many people are going to be awake on the East Coast. Hey guys. So, I'm done with Best Buy. So I am. Apparently, they sent a return label and the UPS man to pick up a non existent laptop that I didn't fucking get. So I sent the box back for the repair that Dell had sent me, which I got an email about today that Dell hadn't received the repair yet. So I tried to call after I call UPS and let them know, because the UPS man's like, oh, she signed for it. She was on an airplane. She didn't sign for shit. Oh, Madeline, I'm frustrated. So I have this huge thing going on with UPS. They're contacting the driver. They got to send somebody out to the house for me to sign a form that I didn't receive jack diddly squat. In the meantime, I have no freaking clue where my laptop is. The good thing is I'm not paying for it right now, thanks to Progressive Leasing. They've been awesome. But Best Buy, I try to call their customer service line, and they're too busy, so like none of your calls will go through, and their chat's offline. Isn't that great? Fuck you, Best Buy. That's all I have to say. So, I also was notified today that they've extended our contract at work until the 1st of August, which is a few extra weeks, but the way my work week pans out, I'll only have to take 9 extra days away from my son. So I think what I'm going to do, because he starts school August 31st, I'll fly out July 29th. I changed my flight, so I'll fly out of Laredo to Detroit on the 29th instead of the 20th, which is fine. It's 2 extra weeks of pay, and then I'll stay in Michigan and take him to his first day of school, because it's a new school system for him that he'll be going to, and I want to be there because I used to substitute teach for this school district and I really liked it. But I haven't broken the news to him yet. He's going to kill me. He's really excited about this trip. I'm sitting here as I'm deleting all of my husband's photos, and after I stick them in a special folder, it's really nice. There's pictures of Linda, and it says move to trash. Oh yeah, she's definitely trash. But I'm only up to like September of 2013. I got a long fucking way to go. Thank God he got rid of her in 2015. At least I don't have to look at her, just the kids. So that's enjoyable. I'm just trying to get rid of this crap so I can organize it and stick it where it needs to go. But it's just been really rough. And then our recruiter at our agency got fired for not doing his fucking job. No paychecks today for me and the girl I work with. We sent ours in together, and of course the son of a bitch didn't turn them in. So they're overnighting our checks to us, and the boss is now our new recruiter, so that's great. So I am just trying to figure out what the Lord is trying what patience and what he's holding me back from for a reason. I'll figure it out eventually, but dear God, is this frustrating. My house is a freaking mess. I did bust out my new craft machine to test it out. I'm so aggravated. I am so aggravated. I'm not trashing it all because it's all of my husband's memories. I took them with me when I left, so he has nothing except for whatever's here, unless he deleted that accidentally. So I'm not trashing anything. I'm not that kind of person. It's all going into a zipped file out of my Google Photos. He accidentally uploaded everything from his iPhone into my Google Photos. Everything. So I'm tired of looking at it, but it's like he's cataloged every day of his life. And I'm trying to sort it all by date, so when I go through and find more patterns, it's easy to find by date. So it's just a royal pain in my ass, and then I'm trying to copy everything over because I have 2 different external hard drives. So I went and bought an 8 terabyte hard drive yesterday from Office Depot because they're getting my business now. Fuck Best Buy. Oh my God. You know, it's the one thing I listened to Michael on because this is where he bought his son's gaming computer, and the Geek Squad was all I ever heard about when the computers took a shit. Yeah, go to hell. I should have never listened. I should have just bought the damn thing right from Dell. What a nightmare. What a freaking nightmare. When I do get a hold of customer service, why they sent me a damn return label when I called them and told them I don't have a fucking laptop is beyond me. I really don't know. And I can't ask because nobody answers the phone. They're just too busy. I bet they're too busy. Oh my God. Screw up like that. But I went through Progressive Leasing because they got the 90 days, same as cash. And it's really affordable. So I did that. And I'm glad I did because I called them when all this shit happened and they froze the payments. So Best Buy can kiss my ass. I'm not dealing with it. I mean, this is the world's worst customer service I have ever freaking seen. So I am just beyond aggravated right now, beyond looking at Linda and moving to the trash. That's the highlight of every click, and there's a lot of clicks. But at least I get to watch my son through all of his pictures, his potty training and everything. I'm just so freaking aggravated, man. I don't know. But American Airlines was great, and the flight actually was like $50 cheaper from Laredo to Detroit in July, so I saved some money there. They were very, very kind about switching over my plane ticket. So, American, they throw assholes off the plane for not wearing a mask, and they have my business. It's another thing my husband always had me do was fly with American. At least that worked out. So I haven't even really looked at any COVID shit today because, I mean, I am over the ignorance. Over the ignorance. But I know COVID's going to be around. We are skyrocketing with numbers. I'm getting messages from people with stats. I mean, it is just insane. Yeah, stick it where it goes. He's trying for sure. Hope they don't send you to... I won't go to Oklahoma. I got some issues with Oklahoma. Not interested there for sure. I'm just not even ready to talk about Oklahoma. It's got some bad memories. Yeah, no. Yes, it can only happen to me. This is Misty's Law. I don't even begin to question it anymore. It's not even worth getting pissed off over. There ain't nothing I can freaking do about it. It's out of my hands. It'll all work out eventually, but I kind of need the damn equipment now. I got a Zoom meeting tomorrow with a lady about my website. I really needed to be working on Photoshop. My desktop, it just doesn't have enough RAM to do what I need to do. It's a pain in the ass. And plus, I don't even want to talk about trying to find my workspace. I did get downstairs cleaned up, only to, and I got some racks put together and my tools put away. So I did get something, but it's like where I make one mess, it's bad. Thank God the whole house is crafting and it's just me. It's my crafting nightmare in here. I got the Zoom meetings tomorrow. I got a dentist appointment on Tuesday. I have to meet... Oh, yeah, my ortho surgeon. So I called today to find out about my back surgery and what the hell's going on with that with the Army Hospital. So I was dealing with the neurosurgeon because he was covering for the ortho doctor while he was out on deployment. The great thing about the military is they're always deploying your fucking doctors, and you get a new one like every 4 months, whether you want it or not. So now I have to meet with the new surgeon, and we're going to do that by phone, though. Because they're like, you can come in if you want. No, I don't want to. Look at my files. They're all there. I mean, read my chart, please. But I also have another back surgeon that I'm going to go to as well and see what they have to say. And whoever can do it the fastest at this point in time, like, seriously, fix me. I'm tired of being in pain. I want my life back. But I'm working with this veteran up in Colorado. We got a lot of stuff going on there. He wants me to sit on the advisory board to oversee, to make sure that the funds for the nonprofit are going to the families as they're supposed to be doing. I don't do Apple. I'm not an Apple person. Not at all. I freaking hate the whole setup. I hate iPhones. That was a fight with my husband and I. Oh, my iPhone's never good enough. No, the iPhones don't work the way I want them to. With Android, there's this lovely button when you are on Facebook and you don't have to download everything to your phone. There's a lovely share external button and you can just pick wherever the fuck you want to share it without saving it to your phone. So that way I don't have 9 million extra photos that I have to go through and delete. Which right now I have a meme folder. So as I go through all this shit, I'm sticking all the memes in the meme folder. So it quits taking up all of my Google Photos. I have plenty of space. It's just a pain in the ass to surf through. I like organization, but I'm an organized hot mess is what I am. So, yeah, so it's been, whenever I'm home, I don't get to sit here and enjoy it. I gotta play games, I gotta run around, I gotta do doctor's appointments, and it's just, my sleep schedule gets all jacked up, and I'm definitely driving back and forth right now because I am sick and tired of flying. By the time I get done driving, I can fly, and I don't have to play games with airports. The only thing that was nice when I landed in Dallas, when I flew out, it was the gate right next to where I got off, so I didn't have to go to the other side of the freaking airport to get on my next plane. Because I fly from these tiny-ass towns, so I have to always go to Dallas, and it's a pain. Because the one from Laredo is a tiny-ass plane. It's like 3 seats all the way across the plane. It's like, I feel like I'm in a puddle jumper, and I hate it. Yeah, it's bad. That's another place I won't work is Cali. The freaking licensing is a mess. Oh, Sean, you'll have to go back. There's just too much. Too much. Where was Salsaritas at, Lisa? What city? Yeah, Oklahoma. The cats are great. They're laying all over my stuff on the patio, though. They have their blanket out there, and at night well, here comes Rose. She wants to get up in my business. They start moving around at night. They sleep all freaking day and then get on my nerves at night. Just like a child. But, Worf is very, very talkative. He likes when I leave and when I come home. Then he's all over my stuff. He was laying all over my papers that I have to file and fill out. And I've been trying to fill out, make an appointment for fingerprinting. With all these applications, I want to get my Arizona license and my New Mexico license next, but I have Washington and California sitting here that I have to finish up with fingerprints. And do you think that Postal Annex would answer the fucking phone, and it's clear on the other side of town, and you need an appointment? No answer. So I'm going to have to call the sheriff's department, I guess, and see if they're freaking doing fingerprints. I'm just so damn frustrated. I have a list of I started making a list of all the things I wanted to do and wanted to get done, and it started to look very, very overwhelming. So hopefully once I get going with this veteran and the nonprofit that he's created, it'll take a lot of work on my end off, because I don't know if I want to create a nonprofit because it's a lot of freaking work, and I'll see what happens. I'm going to talk to him, and we're going to kind of go from there, but it will help relieve a lot of my stress and a lot of my work. It's just I've been in some pain for a while, but last year when my stepdaughter attacked me, I haven't been able to do any physical therapy from my hip surgery in November, because when I did, I wound up in the hospital unable to fucking walk. So the nerve is too pinched on the other side of my back. Everything's blown out now, way worse than it was because of the force I had to exert to keep from suffocating this child while she was hyperventilating and flipping out on me and attacking me. If anybody needs medication, it's my stepdaughter, and my husband needs to make sure he fills it, which he's not doing. So I have to keep calling CPS. This time they asked for records. I happily sent them over. She needs to be on her medication, and he needs to knock his shit off. He needs to quit worrying about non-essential Linda and what she's going to tell me, and start worrying about his child, because she's the one suffering here. I'm a big girl. I can handle myself. His daughter can't get away from him. It's just, this is so aggravating. So freaking aggravating. All of it. All of it. But it's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. I've never had a problem with my Dell computers. My mother had Hewlett-Packard, and she kept losing hard drives. So that's why I back up everything to the cloud. I put it in my Google Drive. I have it on too many different computers, but that's why everything's getting compressed and zipped away in a folder, because I am so tired of looking at biker shit and biker trash. This wasn't my tribe. Organized chaos is my specialty. Girl, I cleaned my car. That's another thing I need to do, is clean my car. I need to shampoo the carpets and freaking detail it. Maybe I'll get up early and do that. I have so much shit to do, it's ridiculous. I mean, my husband kept us busy when we were together, and all of my shit got put off that I wanted to do. So now that I have all this free time to do everything, I have too much on my plate, because I'm a perfectionist and I want to do it all myself. I need to learn how to delegate things. Hopefully I pick up that skill here real soon. He's, I think, a little south of Denver. It looks like an hour or so over the border from New Mexico. It's on my way up to Yellowstone, so I'm going to stop up there on my way. But we're going to do a Zoom meeting tomorrow, because I want to put the video on my PTSD page to explain to people what the mission is and what we have in store. So I want to be able to do that, but I want to format the video. I have so much video formatting to do. I still have my thank you video with all the wonderful things everybody had to say. There's like 300 freaking messages that I screenshotted. But I don't have a fucking computer. It's just a royal pain in the ass. I have so many things to do. I mean, I can do it on the desktop, but the RAM is just not there. It'll take me forever, and the computer will freeze up and do the whir spin thing, and I have to wait. It's just a big pain in the ass. But I love looking at like my hairstyles over the years. I have had short hair, long hair, red hair, blonde hair, purple hair, lots of hair. I got to have purple hair in my driver's license photo. And another great thing about Texas driver's licenses, I looked at it. Michigan's good for 4 years, and it was like $80-something for my freaking enhanced driver's license. Texas is good for 9 years, and it cost me $33 for the initial. 9 years. Thank you. I wish my tags were good that long. So that's another great thing about Texas. I don't have to go to the freaking driver's license crap every 4 years. And I have purple hair. Oh, Kimberly, this child has been traumatized from, I mean, I knew it was coming. She has a lot of issues. We were dealing with them in therapy. I had to beg my husband to get her into, actually the child begged me to beg my husband to get her into therapy. I get her into therapy, and then he decides that when he gets out of the PTSD clinic that we're changing providers, because he called her therapist a pop-up Ziploc office, which that's what it is. It's got a pop-up desk. It's completely impersonal, not friendly to kids, but out of fear, he took her back there after he sabotaged our family therapy. So he seems to think that this therapist told him that he had to get a divorce if I was manic again. I talked to the therapist when I took the child to therapy, and she's like, I never fucking said that. This is what I said. So my husband's got a reasoning problem, and he was going to drag this lady into court. Well, there was no subpoenas because they're not going to testify to something that they didn't say. Same thing with CPS. So yeah, he's made a bunch of threats to me, and none of them are true. But my stepdaughter has got a lot of problems, a lot of anger, a lot of fear. She's dealing with secondary PTSD and also PTSD from what he put their mother through. And this woman, looking back on these pictures and the text messages, I mean, I know why the child behaves the way she did. That's the only thing. She had nobody else to take it out on. She's been the only girl in the house. Linda has her own place, so she doesn't live there. I started changing the living room, you know, from what it was when she was 5. Well, she's going to be 14. She just, when I took her sheet music away and she came after me and barged through that bedroom door and like started punching me, it was like, wow, over sheet music. And I wound up tearing it up. I was walking to my husband's bedroom closet until the child attacked me, and I was just going to have him deal with it when he got home, and, well, she would not stop, and I finally got so sick of her grabbing at it, and it was all wrinkled anyway, that I just tore it up. He was all mad because she had to write sentences and do something, and I'm like, well, tough shit, she shouldn't have freaking exploded like that, but they were not teaching her the tools on how to handle her emotions either. She needed to be learning cognitive behavioral therapy. My husband and I both talked about this. I have text messages where he said that they weren't teaching her shit and that they're not even treating what the real problem is. She was claiming that she was hallucinating her mother outside the counseling office on the initial visit that we went to, and that is not PTSD, that is paranoid schizophrenia. You don't hallucinate with PTSD. You relive traumas, so it's terrible. Yeah, I call her non-essential because she's not. She's just a tool for him. It was somebody, because he can't be alone. Even his daughter, his oldest daughter's like, you know my dad, he can't be alone. But he went back to Linda because I had asked the sister in the club that I was staying with when Michael and I separated, because she was still friends with, or she's great friends with her, which was a problem in the club when him and her split up, because he didn't want anybody talking to her, and you can't tell the sisters what to do. You can only tell the brothers. But she maintained a friendship with her, and I asked her to put me in touch with Linda because I wanted to talk to her about the problems that she experienced with my stepdaughter. And Michael freaked out, and he went and got her back to keep her mouth shut. So he's only keeping her around out of convenience. She's really not essential. It's really funny, but he lives in a state of fear. He's afraid his kids are going to get taken away if his problems come out. Well, if he keeps fucking not giving his daughter her medication, yeah, they're going to come take him away. You got to take care of the kid. She's overdosing. She's doing all sorts of shit in response to your behavior, and it's not healthy. So deal with your freaking problems and quit involving your children in it. It just freaking pisses me off, but he has a lot of frontal lobe damage. When they removed the cyst out of his brain at the PTSD clinic, things got worse. The day before all this went down, he lost the ability to talk, and when we were in the car, he was frustrated and he was trying to get his thoughts out, and you could see him trying to form the words, but they wouldn't come out. So he's got a lot of brain damage. The reasoning department is damaged. He tells himself things, but he's not sure if it's the truth or if it's something he's told himself and that he's thinking, and he winds up taking things out on people that didn't happen. I had to intervene on a lot of stuff because he thought somebody he loaned money to was trying to screw him out of it, and I'm like, oh my God, no, this is not what's happening, don't react on that. And I had to go talk to people more than once and ask them if they said something, because in Michael's mind they did, and they're like, I never said that, this is what I said. So he processes things wrong. So when I left and I took all of his memories, I literally took his memory. That's why I'm not deleting anything. That is his memory, and one of these days he might get them back. Won't be anytime soon for me, but they'll be there in a folder where I don't have to look at it. I'll probably take the damn freaking folder with me and sort through it while I'm out in Laredo, but I have to get the evidence together for my lawyer And I'm just going to go through what lies and claims that he's told the court, and then what he told me nasty in his email that's all full of fucking delusion. So I'm just going to put those and put the evidence with it. And then I got all the security footage, so I got to... He claims I'm editing it, so I need to download... Yeah, I have it all downloaded, but it's all time-stamped, and I have to go through and organize that. I don't know what all the lawyer's going to freaking need. I don't even know why they need it. We're not... I thought when we went to court that they'd just be signing the papers and going, you're divorced. But apparently he has evidence, so I have evidence too. So I have to inconvenience myself further. I was really happy to possibly put all the court papers away. It is what it is. Arizona's good until you're 65? Holy crap. But yeah, there's just so much going on. So much. I'm trying to craft in the process. I'm working on fairy lanterns right now that I need to go down and put Mod Podge on and pour glitter all over. And working with glitter is something to be desired because it gets everywhere. But I have the little lids that go on the top. And then I got the hangers for the mason jars, so they'll hang up. If I would have thought about it, I would have done some red, white, and blue ones because I have a craft show July 5th. But, so much going on. So much. And then COVID. I'm still the COVID queen. I might take a break and listen to some podcasts and new updates while I'm pouring glitter all over everything. But what I had update, I mean, I don't even know what the numbers are. I'm afraid to look. I'm happy I don't have cable TV or any kind of news because this is just insane. On top of the Black Lives Matter movement, and I shared that one girl's video last night, and that's exactly how I feel. Because a lot of these folks are like, do you seriously look at me like I'm a charity case and that I need your sympathy vote? No. That does not make the black folks feel any freaking better. As a matter of fact, it makes them feel 10 times worse. So I'm not hopping on the Black Lives Matter bandwagon. I am farthest thing from a freaking racist, but destroying my country over shit is not cool. I'm hoping that burning things down and nobody else has died today because of brutality or retaliation or what the hell ever, because I just can't take it anymore. You know, our unit is just about full. If we get, they had to intubate a person the day I left. So if we get one more ventilator, they're going to have to add another person to our COVID unit with me. It's popping up like crazy. This is not good. I'm telling you right now, wear your freaking mask if you are not able to socially distance in places. Try to go to places that you can socially distance in. But wear a freaking mask. I mean, shut up already. If the store is not going to let you in because you're not wearing a mask, well, then that's just tough shit for you. I don't want to hear your whining, your bitching, and I don't want to hear you bitch at me for saying anything to you on Facebook. Oh, I don't want to hear statistics. I don't want to hear that. Well, then shut up. This is why. This is the freaking reason why people have to wear a mask, is because people like you want to go out and be an asshole and take other people's freaking lives in your own hands because you don't think you should have to freaking wear a mask. Well, I don't care what you think. Math, science. Science the freaking crap out of it. This is ridiculous. Shut up already. I am so tired of people bitching and then, oh, I don't want you saying anything to me. You are on social media. If you do not want negative feedback, don't put it out there. Keep it to yourself. Make it a private post. Make it a note. But don't bitch at me when I'm doing my job. If I'm giving you the education and if you cannot take it, then don't put it out there for the public to see. I mean, plain and simple. If you don't want somebody reacting to it negatively, don't put it out there. Just saying. I don't hide all the negative comments that I get. Some of them are so vulgar I have to, because, I mean, other kids and other people see this. It's not okay. Some things that people say are just absolutely terrible. Sorry, I'm looking at pictures of my husband in Panama. There's one here, and he's actually with a young boy. I think it's Afghanistan in this picture, but he had put a caption on the photo that said, and this is why you have to understand where my husband's mind is at. It's not here in America. The America that's going on is not the America that my husband knows, but the photo is captioned, "At least over there I knew who I could trust." And it's a picture of him with one of the kids, if that tells you anything. I try not to make him a bad guy, because he's really not. This is what has happened to him, and that's why I advocate for PTSD awareness, because I do get tired of people calling him an asshole. He does act like an asshole, but he is not an asshole. He's a very intelligent human being with a lot of freaking capabilities. He's still in that mind of his. He's trapped in it, but he's still very much there. But his mind is over in a desert. Not this one. Not our desert here in El Paso. The knowledge that this man has in his head that he could pass on to others is just fucking amazing. And that's why I've always admired him as a human being. He has been through a lot. And this is something that has happened to him. This is a result of war. This is not who he is. And I really have to try to keep perspective when it comes to that, because there are times I just want to choke the living shit out of him for putting me through all of this. But, and that's one of the reasons he got rid of me, is because I wouldn't put up with his behavior. He likes to have an excuse. He doesn't like to face his demons. And I was making him in his mind, which isn't such a bad thing. But that's what, I mean, it is what it is. I have to make the best of it. But when I look back at what he's accomplished, he has so many awards, he actually had to start throwing them away, because there was so many of them. I couldn't believe it when he told me that he was throwing them away. But he had totes upon totes of these things. But they don't mean anything to him. This man worked so hard in the military, and it was like he was trying to achieve something that he was never going to attain. I guess he's trying to please an invisible entity. I don't know if it's himself or his father, or, you know, trying to prove something, but it was never enough. And he just, you know, would always tell me, "I don't know what you see in me. I don't know what you see in me. I'm just an old man," and blah, blah, blah. And I always found him attractive, no matter our age difference. I mean, that was never a problem for me, and it's always freaking been that way from the beginning. But in his mind, it was a problem. And I can't fix that. That's a personal thing. And that's the hardest thing to do, is just be able to go, okay, walk away, because there's nothing you can do. You can help others, though. I got 2 messages tonight. Thank you for what you're doing. I mean, this is a great thing for the spouses to have, and even the veterans. And this girl had heard from a Vietnam vet today, who helped her help her significant other. So when I get messages like that, and especially from my veterans, it really helps to keep going on these hard days where I have to go through all these memories that I don't want to deal with. I just don't, but I need to get it out of my face so I don't have to keep looking at it. Vegas, oh yeah, Vegas is bad. Z-Dog was out in Vegas to shoot his latest video, and he was like, in the beginning, he was like, screw the masks, and he's like, even I've come around to social distancing and mask wearing, you know, so I know when Z-Dog comes around that it's like, yeah, we're screwed. Please wear your frickin' mask. Please. And all these people saying that, oh, it doesn't protect against coronavirus. Wrong. Corona is a droplet transmission. The surgical mask is what I have to wear when I have flu patients, not the N95, the droplet surgical mask. So it will protect you. If somebody's breathing right in your face and it can get around and through the filters, but I mean, you're not going to be aerosolizing anything in anybody's face, I hope. Nebulizers and things like that. You really have no reason for somebody to aerosolize anything right in your face for you to breathe in. So that freaking mask is definitely going to save your ass. Wear it. Shut up and wear it. I mean, that's going to be my new mantra. I do have my sublimation paper coming. I have my new printers. I have to set the sublimation printer up. I'm putting that off because it's a pain in the ass in the beginning, but it's a brand new printer, so it shouldn't be too hard, I hope. But I did get some white tank tops from Walmart because they're my favorite tank tops. The ones I always wear. But they're the polyester because when you sublimate, it's a lot better, and the color shows up better on white and high polyester fabric. So I'll be practicing with that. I'm trying to think of some catchy phrases to put on them. Let's see here. Fairyland. Yes, I'll show them when I get done. I don't like showing I don't want to show the projects yet. I like it when they're finished. Pennsylvania goes green and the Jersey Shore is packed. Oh my freaking God, man. Oh my God. I'm not going back to New Jersey. They can stuff it. I'd go to Vegas just because I love Vegas, even though I got married there. Yeah, people are getting too comfortable, and this is where all these freaking oops, I wish I would have listened. I shared one the other day. The lady went out, 16 people are infected, at that freaking Irish pub restaurant. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of I wish I would have listened. I'm trying to get a hold of the lady that I did the interview with. She did an interview with a gentleman who got COVID and then got a gallbladder problem. Like the day he got home, his gallbladder flared up. But she wanted me to give him a call. He was expecting my call, but he hasn't called me back, and I'm kind of scared. I hope he's okay. I don't know if he's just busy. I know we all have kids and families, and it's hard. So I'm waiting to hear back from him, because I want to talk to him, especially about he's having some current problems. And he got sick in March 20th. So this is not going away, folks. You do not want to catch this. I'm telling you, you do not want this. This is not just a cold that you're going to get over. Even if you do get over it, you might have long-lasting effects on your health that are very, very detrimental in the future. And it's causing pulmonary fibrosis. You cannot fix scarred lungs from fibrosis. You can't. Lung transplant. Please. San Antonio's on a constant increase. Man, I wish they'd freaking listen. They're too busy out there protesting. We've had a lot of problems here in, unfortunately, the black section. Up in the northeast part of El Paso is where a lot of the black families live. And there's been SWAT teams called out. We've had more action than we ever do. Man, knock it off. This was my lunch. It's now, 11 o'clock? Yeah. Just now eating it. I've been so stressed over that freaking laptop. And then they stuck the same tracking number on the return box that I gave from Dell, not even anything to do with Best Buy. So they're going to get a repair box from Dell back with my original service tag from the computer I returned. Once I can get a hold of somebody, they're talking their little investigation. Well, apparently they can't read and they can't investigate worth a shit, because I have no idea why they sent a return label. I'm so freaking angry. But I've been too stressed to eat. Usually I stress eat at work. It's really funny because every time I put that mask on, I get hungry. I don't know why. It's really, really funny though. I constantly am in the break room eating, stuffing my face. And I don't move very much at this job. At my other job, I would walk 3 to 5 miles a night. And here, I do not do that because I'm just in a tiny ass unit. I'm not walking all over a hospital helping people out. I am stuck. So, and I don't exercise. I can't because of my back. Down home, my entire family is back home. I drilled my parents' brains even before I left to come back from spring break. My cousin is, on the other hand, Maestri on a follower and has bucked the mask the entire time. That's great. I really hope nobody gets COVID, Emily. It's €1. I can't help it. I love the tzatziki sauce. I could just eat that. You guys, yeah, you honestly, I don't know if some of you, when you go to block somebody, there's a take a break option. So you can hide all their shit and not unfriend them. You just hit the block button. It suggests just to take a break. There are some people that you just need to take a break from right now. They are toxic, and instead of hurting their feelings, just hide their stuff. You do not need to be exposed to half the shit that is all over that computer right now. I'm doing my videos, and I do a few posts if something strikes me, and I respond to comments on there. I do not go surfing. Actually, the only reason I come up by these videos is because I'm watching something else and it happens to pop up on the next thing. And sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it sucks. But, you guys gotta take a break. These people are toxic. Very, 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 very toxic. Stay away. Remove them from your life. Here I am, freaking unzip it. Damn it. See, this is why everything has to be done by date, because I screw it all up. There's just too much going on. I just want it all organized, that way I can find it. But please, just stay away from stupid people. I don't want any of you sick. Your mama has pulmonary... Yeah, and it's a slow, suffocating death when you die from pulmonary fibrosis. Unfortunately, I have to break that news. And folks, I need you to remember that in hospitals, CPR is rarely ever successful in saving a life. And the reason why is because we have done everything medically possible up to that point to try and save a life. The only thing that CPR is really good for is if somebody has a witnessed heart attack. Beyond that, all you're doing is torturing your loved one. If they want to be a full code, fine, but do not put your family member through rounds and rounds and rounds of chest crushing, rib breaking CPR for absolutely no freaking reason. It's traumatic, it's a terrible thing to witness, and it's terrible for us. We don't want to watch that. We don't want you to have to watch that. When I have family members in the hallway when we're doing CPR, I'm just like, oh my God, what are we doing? And sometimes it's so that they can see that what we're doing is not working. Seriously, if it's not a heart attack, CPR is not going to help. Very, very rarely. Very, very rarely. Don't do that to somebody, please. I know it's hard to let go, but you would rather want somebody to pass in peace than die being tortured with CPR. It's just, God, you know, when we're in the trauma bay and there's blood pouring out of an accident victim, and you know, we're going on 45 minutes of this. When you start to push on the chest, it becomes mush. There's nothing left to compress. Don't do it. I am a no code. If If I go, let me be. Do not put me through that. I don't want to be put through that. I don't want my family to have to see that. No, I don't want my kids to have to make that decision. Leaving it up to your family is not, no. You need to make these decisions and you need to get a living will. Don't, please don't. I cannot stress this enough. Yes, please tell your parents. You too, Madeline, you need to have a living will as to what your wishes are in case something happens to you, because we never know. We never know when we're going to be in a car crash. We never know. We never know. So be prepared like a Boy Scout. That way your family does not have to make these emotional decisions during an emotional time. If that is not what you want, make sure it's in writing. Please. I cannot stress this enough. I cannot. This is COVID. We are not going to push blood clots out of your lungs with CPR. You just can't do it. God, I hope you guys are all okay out there. I'm like not happy I'm hearing all these freaking cities are. How are your stores? What are the stores saying? Are they making you wear masks? Are they leaving it up to you? I know here in Texas, you know, it's not mandated, and the governor, he was really cool to begin with, and then I started seeing some of the shit that he's saying. Oh, we got plenty of room in the hospitals. I don't know if some of y'all have ever been through Texas driving, but I'm in far west Texas. You can't get any farther without being in Mexico or New Mexico. It takes me 14 and a half hours to get out of here driving to Michigan. 14 and a half hours. I go through 5 states in that time. We don't have a lot of big cities here. We got Dallas, we got San Antonio. El Paso's really not that big. We are the only level 1 trauma center in the southwest region here. You know, Houston, but those are way over on the other fucking side of the state. For all these people between here and Dallas, there's nothing. If you drive from here to Dallas, there's nothing for 9 hours. So all these people who live in between here and Dallas, if they get sick, what are they going to do? Go to the county hospital with no ICU beds? Airlift them to us? You can't airlift an unstable patient. They don't want to transport COVID patients because it's a risk of spreading. So you're stuck. So Governor Abbott, get your head out of your ass. And yeah, we have plenty of hospital beds, but we have to like reconfigure the whole friggin' hospital to deal with COVID patients. A coworker who was in Michigan, they had 2 patients per room on ventilators because they had nowhere to put people. If everybody goes running into the hospital because they're all going to get sick at the same freaking time because they're all outside, not social distancing and not wearing masks, that means they're all going to come to the hospital at the same time. I'm taking a fucking vacation. I don't care. July 29th is it for me. I need to go see my son. It has been a year. And I am going out to the woods and hiding. I ain't doing shit. And when I get back, and I get back surgery, then, you know, great. But, I mean, I can't even believe the stuff I'm seeing. I'm really hoping that this dies off during winter, but, you know, we have warm states out here. People are still out doing things because it's warm. We don't really get a lot of cold weather here in El Paso. I think the lowest it was in the 20s at night, and it warms up during the day as soon as the damn sun comes out. It's not... I am so freaking mind-boggled right now. We're going to get out and protest over Black Lives Matter, but we're going to throw a fit over a mask. Okay, I understand protesting because the police murdered a man. And they did. They murdered him. There is no doubt in my mind, no doubt in any of our minds, that he was murdered. And then we're going to throw a fit over a fucking mask. I'm sorry. Y'all was out wearing masks while you were looting, so we couldn't see your face on security cameras. You didn't bother... Didn't worry about wearing a mask then. You didn't give a shit because you was breaking the law. But now, it's like complete anarchy over a damn mask. Really? I wear two all night long. All night. I wear the N95 and the surgical, and I change the surgical every time I come out of the unit. But there are people wearing the N100 respirators that the painting guys wear in the painter's booth. All shift. They wear the double-sided tape over their nose because it's causing skin breakdown. But yet here we are getting paid to take care of your stupid ass when you come to the hospital. This is not how I wanted to stay employed. I like taking care of people when they're sick, not when a pandemic is going on and people are spreading shit everywhere. Not my idea of a good time. And honestly, if they could see inside of the ICU right now, and that's part of the problem. We don't have visitors in the hospital that can't see how serious this is. And it's for their own safety. I mean, yeah, they do the Skype and all that, or they're doing Zoom with the nursing staff and the doctors. That's how they're doing face-to-face, but they don't see all the other care that we are giving, how bad things get, how quickly things turn. I mean, you have this asshole nurse, anti-vax chick who's, making us all out to be, that we're making this up, and, this is, Aaron, whatever the hell your last name is, you can go to hell. You have created an absolute nightmare, and I hope Elmhurst sues your ass off. And they've already filed a lawsuit against her, so I hope they rip her ass a new one, and I hope she never works in healthcare again. I don't know what kind of nurse that is, but it's a very scary one to be giving out that kind of information that's completely wrong. And the damn people who believe her are just freaking amazing. I mean, where is your head? I don't understand what people are thinking. Tyler, 2.5. Even if you go grocery shopping, Madeline, do the mobile pickup. Have them shop for you and bring it to the freaking car. Just stay out of the damn store. These idiots are wearing gloves in the store, touching everything, touching their face. I was sitting next to a guy on the freaking airplane with gloves on. I was like, that was on the small plane that's why I don't want to fly. Wearing gloves. And I'm like, the minute you touch your face, motherfucker, I'm saying something. Thank God he fell asleep. But, my God, no gloves. Not unless you do it right. 99.9% of you aren't doing it right. So just leave them off and wash your damn hands. Save the gloves for us. Save the environment. Wash your hands. Seriously. Gloves in the public are a bad idea. It's a false sense of security. And then you're doing things that you wouldn't normally do, and you're doing it subconsciously. At least if you wash your hands and you're aware that they are dirty, you are more apt to keep them away from your face. I just don't understand what the problem is, why people have to be so ornery about this. It's just freaking terrible. Yeah, he wears the mask, but then he gives out all this, oh no, we're doing great, we have plenty of hospital rooms. Dude, keep it up and you're going to be in one. I have plenty of freaking people in them. This is just absolutely ridiculous. People need to stop. Seriously, you're doing too much. Just relax, enjoy a relaxed lifestyle without having to protest, without having to bitch. I mean, find something to do, some crafts. Y'all need Jesus or something. I don't get it. I don't. Find some faith. Go believe in something that's greater than yourself, but do something. Because this is ridiculous. I don't want to have to work like this. I don't even know when we're going to be able to return to normal in the hospital. I really freaking don't. It is going to be so weird to see people in the hospital again that I don't know what we're going to do. Right now we have like the run of the whole hospital, and seeing anybody that's not wearing a mask or a set of scrubs is unusual. And I actually do a double take now when I see somebody in the hallway dressed in street clothes. And I actually stop and ask them, where are you going? How did you get in here? So I don't even know. And I know some hospitals, I've seen some people commenting that they're allowing visitors. That is just waiting for a problem. Hospital-acquired infections. MRSA, that's where you get my husband he took a picture of the TV when he was in the Combat Vets Motorcycle Association. But there's a picture of the Combat Vets patch, but it says, tear down these walls, thousands of vets take back war memorials. You want to guess what's going to happen if people keep destroying shit? You're going to have a bunch of angry veterans who are armed to the gills. I don't know a single veteran who doesn't own a fucking weapon, or 12, or 30 like my husband. Keep destroying shit. See what happens. Seriously. Destroy another cemetery. That one that I shared just absolutely disgusted me. These veterans fight for freedom of everybody, and this is what you go and do. This is why I have a problem with these protests, these looters, the rioters. We have no problem with your right to protest as long as you do it peacefully like you are supposed to. This other bullshit that happened and this freaking chaos was absolutely inexcusable. I don't care what caused it. Reacting emotionally, I mean, there was a lot better way to handle this. A lot better way. And that's why I will never stand behind what has happened. I mean, I have no problem saying, yeah, it's wrong. But I am not going to get out there and protest. I am not going to get out there and push an agenda that a lot of black people don't stand behind. A lot of them are like, you're freaking lazy. Get out there and work and quit bitching. You are not oppressed. Nobody has oppressed you for anything. And they can't even give you an example of how they were oppressed. When you ask them, they don't have an answer. It's very aggravating. So why am I going to get out there as a white person? Even my buddy was like, just, no. This is not your fight. The support is nice, but this is not a white person's fight. And he's right. I don't know when folks are going to get it, man. I don't know if they ever will. It's like that song by Tom MacDonald. It's called, the one called Buttholes. The freaking lyrics are just great. Everybody's being a butthole. They're too busy hating everything. Too freaking busy hating everything. They're hating things they don't even understand, hating people they don't know. You know how much energy that zaps from you to stand around and hate people for no reason? I mean, seriously. To have that much negativity and hate in your life, you really do need Jesus. You need to meditate, and you need to find something better to do with yourself. You don't even understand half the stuff that you're talking about. And people think that the Civil War was about slavery. Did they not realize that some of the northern states didn't give a shit about slavery? And they had slaves? I mean, seriously. The Civil War was not fought over slavery. That was a very small part of it. There was a lot more to that war. I'm reading text between my ex and his ex, and fighting. Oh, here his ex-wife sending messages about Linda. Give me my vest back. I got to be an old lady. Patches have to change. Keep that cute biker chick princess away from my kids, Michael. Stuff like this, you know. And he saved it all. Uploaded it all to my photos. I didn't go in and get them. This is why I have to get rid of all this shit. I am just tired of looking at it. Fucking life, man. New York City just went green. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? You know, like the only state that isn't like really popping up is Michigan, and everybody hated the governor for keeping Michigan safe. That's what prompted my rant, was the Michigan militia on the freaking steps, where they had no reason to be, because nobody was threatening the Second Amendment. They were just she was trying to keep the state safe, and she's doing a good job. And you can see it on the chart. How do you like me now? I told you so. These are very satisfying words to hear, to just be able to say sometimes. Man. Because we can't. Yeah, we can't. You know what? I was thinking about this last night, and if it wouldn't have been 3 o'clock in the morning, I would have went live, but I think a lot of these places are just going, you know what? You don't have to wear a mask. Because look what happened when we told people they had to. They threw a fit. We're violating rights. We're violating everything. So now it's like, you know what? We'll let you police yourselves and see how you do. Go for it. Have a ball, children. So now that we're not being told to wear a mask, maybe people will start looking around going, you know what? Maybe we should just put it on. I've had some people like, I don't like how I look in a mask. Bitch, please. All you can see on all the healthcare workers in the unit, in the hospital, are their eyeballs. And it's really bad when we can recognize each other by the shape of our eyes and our mask. Nobody gives a crap what your mask looks like. I mean, I've seen some on my Cricut projects that they're making them now with a clear piece of material in there, so deaf people who need to read lips can see them, which is a great idea, because I've had a lot of that pop up. My mom has to read lips. I don't know what to do here. So, that's a good idea. And it's still containing the droplet spittle. But wear the frickin' mask. But honestly, I think a lot of the governments are like, you know what? We told people not to wear it, and they threw a fit, and we're protesting, and we're hating masks. So now we're just going to tell you, you don't have to. Be a big person and make your own decisions and make good choices. We suck at being humans. What exactly is going on in Oklahoma, Madeline? Did they just, like, let everybody out of the gates and they're just acting like complete fools? What's happening out there? I'm relying on you guys for news, because I ain't going to find it. I went into assisted living and half the staff had the mask below their nose. They wanted to take my temp, and I said, get that mask over your nose before you come near me. I'm not being nice. No, don't be nice. Be very assertive, Georgianne. Be very assertive. Because when you start pointing it out to people, they will start paying attention to their behavior. Even if they act offensive towards you when they do it, the next person they don't want to have any confrontations with. So they're going to start wearing that damn thing. And they're going to wear it right. That's a... there we go. Oh, I heard about that, Emily. Gave George Floyd's family the flag like they would for a veteran. Oh my God. That woman... I'm just going to keep my mouth shut right now. That's fucking disgraceful. That's what that is. No. Absolutely not. That man didn't serve this country. He served time in it multiple times. No. There's a lot of pissed off people over that, and I probably need to go check out American Warrior Revolution and Nine Line to see what the veterans have to say. I've been avoiding things like the plague. That Euro was really good. No, it's not safe to protest. Nope. Not at all. Michigan and New York went green the same day. Oh my God, man. I'm taking a vacation. I don't care how much the crisis pay is. Natural selection or reverse psychology? I think a little bit of both, Emily. I really do. I think that they're just like, you know what? Screw this shit. Let them go. Let them go. If they want to act like a bunch of fools, let them go. They can suffer the consequences of their own actions, and the people who want to stay safe can wear the mask. And that's honestly what's going to have to happen here. Use your noodles. Look at all these people not wearing a mask. There's more to buy for you. Thank you, Marissa. I still have my stock. I'm still using them. The ones at work, I got one the other night, and there was only like a half a piece of metal, so I couldn't bend it over my nose. It was just like this. It was one of the ear loops won't fit right. So the ones that Marissa got me, I can actually put in my ear saver and extend because I wear it up over my ponytail, so it doesn't cut into my ears. Trump is having a rally. He's told everyone not to mask. I didn't hear about the not to mask thing. I just heard that they're not going to require it. I don't know whether or not those words actually came out of his mouth. Wasn't Oklahoma the Ozarks party? Isn't Oklahoma where the Trump rally's going to be? Because or is it North Carolina? I don't remember. I know they had to move it. I don't pay attention to shit. It's not really pertinent. Trump's rally, and they have marches, no masks, and convention center and non-disclosure. Screw this shit. Oh yeah, I did read that they had to sign a waiver to go to the rally. So that way, even though they told you not to wear a mask, you can't hold them responsible when you catch the shit. This is the same thing that a lot of the healthcare facilities are doing when you catch COVID and you work for them. They have you sign a non-disclosure agreement because they don't want you making them look bad. Telling everybody that you got it from there. You know, when you socially distance at home and you work in a hospital full of COVID, where the hell do you think that you are going to acquire it from? My cat? I don't think so. Nope. I don't need to be out in public that bad. I'm going to be out in the frickin' woods, away from the public, in a hidey hole where not many people go. And I don't plan on staying on the main trails at Yellowstone. I plan on going to investigate the geysers that are not right out front. I will be back there hiking. That is what I'm going for. Hopefully I can keep my child from sniffing sulfur this year. He likes the smell of rotten eggs, apparently, and had his nose off the side of the dock, sniffing the sulfur coming from the hot spring. And I'm like, oh my God. Brady. It's a very Brady day when he's around sometimes. But yeah, we're going to take a train down here, so I'll just have to put my vacation on hold just 1 week. It's not really going to affect too much. I'm just going to visit in Michigan when I get back in September with him. Well, he starts school October 31st, but he'll be able to come down for his holidays, or Mom will be able to fly up there and see him. It'll be a lot easier for him. Thank God for video chats, guys. I swear, I don't know how the hell this kid has been so sane not seeing his mom, but he's able to look at me over the video, and he just likes to come down because there's a neighborhood here. He can go play with the kids. Over at my husband's house, he wasn't allowed to go bother the neighbors. He wasn't allowed to go do much. So here he can go play with all the kids. But I don't want him playing with all the kids. I want him in the woods. So that's where we're going. I don't care if I have to spend 3 weeks on the road camping. I will find a cooler big enough for all my shit. I am running away from home, and I'm going to enjoy every freaking bit of it. I'm going to investigate the world, which is what I wanted to do when I got into traveling anyway. So I'm just going to do it. What I will probably do is, if I'm on the road traveling during his breaks, is I will fly him out to where I'm at. And that way he can check out new areas. This kid's pretty well traveled. He's in North Carolina right now with his aunt. But he has been to a lot of states for being 9 years old. He's going to be traveling a lot this summer. He's going to have a hell of a summer report to write when he gets back to school. But he's going to a new school system. He'll be in Coleman. And Coleman actually has some pretty nice schools, especially the high school. It's huge. I loved substitute teaching there and in Farwell. But Harrison, my son's father, he never wanted to pay much into school taxes and all that, but when he started to take Brady to school and he would walk in the doors and the brick is falling out and crumbling and they're not repairing it and the school's falling apart, he really started to pay attention to what he was voting for, which is good. It's good. My son's father I've been friends with him since I was 14 years old. He is one of my favorite human beings most of the time. He's very stuck in his ways, as most men are. Very, very firm beliefs. But overall, I've not really had any problems with either of my children's fathers. My husband tried to create some when we separated, but it didn't work. It backfired on him, which was really freaking funny. And I actually wound up, my father had a Harley Davidson ring, because the guy who made the rings for Harley Davidson, he was able to make an anniversary ring from that year that he was a contractor, and I gave it to my husband because I didn't want a wedding ring. I don't like jewelry because it's a pain in the ass to wash at the hospital. I got to keep taking it off, and it's just not. But I have one. But I gave him that ring, and he had taken it off, and he had stuck it in the drawer, and I freaking took it. He wasn't going to keep it. So I gave it to my daughter's father, because he's a biker, and I explained where it came from, and he was very appreciative of the ring. So my husband can kiss my ass on that one. It went to somebody who appreciates it, and isn't going to throw it in the drawer because he wants to be an asshole. So my other Michael, apparently I have a thing with Michaels, now has that Harley Davidson ring, and I hope he respects it and enjoys it, because my husband sure was an asshole about it. Oh well. October 30th. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, my son lives in Michigan. Do I need a ride from the airport? I'm probably going to get a rental car because I'm going to be driving up to northern Michigan. So I'm probably going to I always rent through Budget. They always offer a really good rate. And I have a free upgrade on my next rental. So. And then I have to drive my ass to the train station somewhere, either in Grand Rapids or Detroit. They're both about as equally as far. Because we're going to take the train back. He wants to ride the train, and I promised him we could take a train and get a private car. So we're going to do that. So I should be okay, though, Kim. I appreciate it. Yeah, my little dude lives up in central Michigan. So does my daughter. She's living in Bay City. She works in Midland. She was off work for a while when the floods happened. Speaking of, anybody up there, how is the flood situation? I shared a fundraiser for my friend who lost everything. She sunk her whole life into building this house and remodeling, and she lost everything, man. And FEMA can't help because they have not declared it a disaster area. So the federal government has released no money to help these folks. So if you need to donate up there, these folks need freaking help. You can get on GoFundMe and look. I mean, they're everywhere. It's very, very sad that everybody's all worried about freaking COVID and protesting, and the hell with what happened with these fucking floods. You know, it was a national news event, and my friend that I graduated with flew over. He's a pilot. Oh, he has his own plane, and he flew over. His video got like 1 million views. Of the water just pouring over the dam. That's really terrible. The hell with frickin' Black Lives Matter right now. I'm worried about my friends and family in Michigan. Yeah, you know, let me see if I can find the poem. I don't even know if I can read my husband's handwriting. He wrote a poem when he was in the PTSD clinic. This is my husband folder of evidence. Isn't that great? This is how I spent a lot of my time. But he wrote a poem. I don't know where I exactly put it because I have every text message we ever sent each other. Messages from members in the club. All sorts of shit, man. It's freaking crazy. Nutcase Nancy. Her texts. But he wrote a poem about hating 2018 because he was looking forward to 2019. And here's his start my own business and retire. That was his those were his goals. Guess who started her own business after he retired? This is all full of CBT worksheets, court documents. It's just freaking ridiculous. But his CBT book is equally as large. It's probably in here. This is his book from therapy for 6 weeks. 6 weeks in the inpatient clinic. He had goals, he had a lot of aspirations that he just fucking sabotaged, man. I don't know how else to even put it, because that's exactly what he did. He sabotaged everything. High risk factors: work, negative emotions, relationship conflicts, canceling appointments, avoidance, isolation, aggressiveness. His feelings: guilt, worthlessness, the world is a dangerous place, I am never safe. This is what goes through the minds of our veterans when they get home. So this is why I don't hold a lot of shit against him, because he really was trying, but he just, he failed himself again. It's really sad. It's really freaking sad. I wish I could find the actual poem. The only thing he had written about me in here is keep my old lady from nagging about the burglar alarm. The burglar alarm wouldn't quit beeping while I was sleeping during the day because the battery was dead, and because he had threatened about what would happen if the cops ever showed up to his house. I was afraid to go unplug it. So, the nagging old lady, that's all he worried about while he was inpatient. I think I found it. The poem that he wrote about, here it is. That's the one. It's like so scratched out. The tone of my voice you will learn to despise. You will wish me dead as you glare in my eyes. Why had I longed for 2019, 2019? He's got a bunch of stuff scratched out. I would unsee the things I have seen, believe. I have nothing left, not a penny to give. Cremated and put into a sieve. I was something, and here I sit. Something is empty like a crazy house. He was working on writing a poem. I cannot dispatch what is already dead, and I can't get rid of these cysts in my head. Hooray, hooray for 2019. Fuck you, fucking fuck. That was about 2018. 2019, we're dragging through a divorce. It's 2020, we're still dragging through the divorce, and now COVID. And now he's even more paranoid with all these protests. But this is the shit that was in my husband's head. I mean, and then this was our love notebook. This is all of our love letters to each other. Our journal, back and forth. You know, it's like he tells people I'm this crazy evil person, but yet the love letters that he wrote me say a completely different thing. That's why it's really hard to go through all of this, because I have no idea what's going on in his head. I mean, I have a good idea what's going on in his head, but that's what makes this shit hard. No power. Damn. I can't hate him, Kim. I can't. It's impossible. I've loved him since I was 18 years old. PTSD is very destructive, and that's what I aim to stop, is some of these destructive behaviors within families and relationships. What we're looking to do is form a network of people across the country, almost like a mentorship, because it's easier for them to see when others are struggling. It's easier to reach out to a brother when you're right fucking there. They don't have to go seek the help. They don't have to worry about what the VA is putting in their file, all that stuff, because they put red flags on them. Like and Michael is scared to go to the doctor because his last doctor was murdered here on Fort Bliss the day after Michael seen him. And the guy, Michael was a sniper, so he spent his entire life looking through windows. So he doesn't like windows. The windows in the bedroom are up very, very high. They had shutters. You can't look into them from the outside. There's no freaking way unless you have a drone. But he asked the doctor to close the blinds. And the doctor's like, you're fine here. You're safe, blah, blah, blah. And even though it didn't happen through the window, a veteran came into Fort Bliss and went to see the same doctor the next day and killed him. And then the doctor that Michael had, when he got back, and the one who signed a form for him to go to that clinic, he was the guy that it was the first person that Michael encountered when he went to go get help for PTSD, when he started spiraling out of control. Well, probably 13 years ago now. It was right after he retired. I know he was having problems long before that. I mean, he had every sign and symptom. It was just he waited until retirement to get help because he didn't want to get kicked out. He was hiding his seizures. And that doctor, he wasn't a doctor at the time. He was just whatever worker, and he was working his way through med school. And he wound up becoming a doctor, and he became Michael's doctor. And he wound up retiring out of nowhere because of problems from stomach cancer. So now Michael has lost another person. I don't know about his therapist. I don't know how close they are. I never really heard much about the therapist. He always talked about his doctor. And now he doesn't have that doctor. So he's lost a lot of people within the VA. People he trusted. So, you know, when it comes to PTSD, trust issues are a big part of it. And my husband's probably out there drowning. He's gotten back into dirt bike racing. When I moved down here, he had to have surgery. I was driving across the country as he was having surgery. They had to fly a freaking surgeon in from Dallas to work on his shoulder. He's got like 14 screws and plates in it. There's nothing left. I don't know what they're going to do if he breaks it again, because there's nothing left to screw back together. He decided to go for a dirt bike ride by himself on Father's Day weekend. So we're almost to that anniversary now, 3 years. And this weekend. And in his mind, the kids didn't spend any time with him, and so he went out dirt bike riding. Well, when I talked to his oldest daughter, they did too spend time with him. They had done something with him in the morning, and they all went somewhere else, and he decided to go out to the desert and ride his dirt bike, and he did a big back, like, he was trying to do a complete flip off a 30-foot freaking sand dune. Have the GoPro video, didn't make it. So he had to, with a broken shoulder, get that bike back up and get it back to the Jeep, load it up, and he was about ready to pass out when he called for help. He had pulled over, and I think his daughter came and got him. So now he's dirt bike riding again. The man is going to be 59 years old this year. Paratrooper. Always airborne somehow. When I see the video of the dirt bike rider go flying off the cliff and has a parachute, that's my husband. That's the kind of person he is. He'll go out with a bang, I'll tell you that much. I'm glad I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's not my problem. But yeah, so that's what he's up to now. That's fine as long as he's safe about it and is not getting fucking stupid and ridiculous. And there's people that know where he's at, not off the grid when there's no cell service and all that good stuff. His daughter does keep a pretty good eye on him, and he's got his middle son living there now, here in El Paso, so thank God, because he'll kill himself and nobody will find him. I swear, this is why I didn't want to ever get married. I didn't want these fucking worries. I didn't want these problems. I'm good. I'd rather just worry about my kids. Yeah, life, man. And now I have all this other stuff going on. But if it wasn't for these experiences, I wouldn't be in the position to help other people like I am. I wouldn't understand what has happened with him. And then you throw this fucking crazy stalker in the mix. Oh, man. It's like, can we get a reality show? I swear to God, man. Biker shit. It's fucking crazy. It really is. I'm really glad that it's not my everyday life anymore, because it was getting to be a little bit too much. I don't like that much excitement. I like to craft. That's what I like to do. It's really all I want to do. And that's all I was doing. When you look at the security cameras, I mean, I shared the footage. You'll have to dig for it. It's like probably, I had a lot of rants and insanity when I was discovering all of this last year, so I haven't really reshared too much of the memories, because I'm like, oh boy. But they're there for me to go back and look on as to what stage I was in. I mean, I was in shock. I mean, complete and utter shock over what happened. We had never really talked about divorce, other than the therapist said if you ever were manic again, we had to get divorced. No, she didn't. But other than that, there was never any real conversation. You would figure that, if things were that bad, somebody would have known, but we were lovey-dovey and everything the night before. But he was doing this. When I look back on these messages with his ex-wife, with her text messages and the way he was acting, and then seeing pictures of Linda, and I'm like, he was playing this woman and using this fucking biker whore to get her to react, so he could have an excuse to do what he does. He has to sabotage shit, and that woman was completely distraught. And the reason he got a restraining order against me is not because I ever threatened him or the kids, is because he had one against his ex-wife, because she broke into the house. She had him jumped at the mailboxes. He was beat up. There was all this shit that happened, and their marriage, I mean, what he was doing in our marriage was because of the fears that he had from their marriage. And this woman's like, I don't know why you're so obsessed with our marriage, because he made it happen in ours, identical to what he did to you. So yeah, I'm a little obsessed. I want to know what the fuck happened, because I was living it, and there was like no signs that it was this freaking bad. I really didn't even know he was struggling. He laid in my lap one night begging for his gun and wanted to kill himself. And that next day is when he called his doctor and made the decision to go into the PTSD clinic. So I kept the kids from seeing all of that. You know, they're always like, oh, you hurt my dad and you said bad things about my dad. I also protected and loved and supported your dad in many ways that you don't realize, and maybe you will when you get older. But I never harmed that man. I did punch him in the mouth. Oh, I fucking did. It hurt for a month, too. I broke his tooth. He threatened to kill my father. So in a moment of fear, I fucking punched him. I was scared to death. Like, you threatened to kill my father. The only person who really looks after me. He raised me. And when I said that I would call my dad to get a plane ticket home from North Carolina so I would not have to ride in a vehicle with him across the country, he told me he would take care of my father if he did that. And it wasn't in a nice way. It was in a very evil way. And when your husband is a sniper and spent his life in the military killing people, you tend to take him seriously. So yeah, fear. Oh yeah. Yep, I hit him one time, and he acts like I had fucking abused him. It's like when you read these court documents, it's like I'm some kind of psycho who was just beating up the family. No. Nope, not at all. Not at all. But that's the fun I had to... when I put on my Facebook what had happened, people were shocked. There was like no warning. No warning. I thought you all were in love. So did I. Nobody was more surprised than me. Yeah. Life. When it gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Really, Emily, you and I need to talk a little bit. Because you and I got a lot in common with what we're dealing with. I went through this alone. If I would talk to the sisters in the club, I would get bitched at for telling the club our business. If I talked outside of the club, I got in trouble for telling people and talking about it outside of the family. The family he considers the club. So I had to deal with this alone. Many people did not know. I had some sisters lending their support to me, and now they're all over his Facebook page kissing his ass. Because everybody's scared of him. They're scared of their husbands. They're scared of, what they're going to say or what they're going to do. And that's the whole fucking problem. Open your mouth and say something. You cannot hide in fear. You cannot live in fear. You cannot deal with this. This is too stressful. What it does to the mind is just not just for the person suffering, but to the people who are suffering around them. It's evil. This PTSD completely remaps the brain. Completely. That person you know and love is in there, but they're trapped. And to be able to reach them, they have to want to help themselves, man. I'm looking at pictures of bodies just blown apart. And I do mean blown the fuck apart. Like, the movies couldn't even do it this good. I mean, this is real life war. I don't know why he took pictures of every operation he was in when he had a digital camera, but he did. I have to look up these operations to even know if I should talk about them, because I don't know how classified they are. And that's where I have a problem. I don't want to be endangering other veterans' lives or opening them up to being, because my husband has a bounty on his head by the Taliban, and he freaked out when his middle son went into the military because they shared the same name, first and last name anyway, and he was really scared that they were going to get a hold of his son and kill him. I have a picture. His son went off the radar for like 2.5, 3 weeks because they didn't have access to a SIM card. It got stolen. And he couldn't contact anybody, and Michael was losing his mind. And we were out, family, we were out in the woods at a, I don't want to say a resort, it was like a cabin, but it was kind of built around this really cool tree, and we had a great weekend. I mean, that was like the one time I really ever seen him drunk, because he doesn't drink because of the thrombocytopenia, but he had just gotten his platelets, so he decided to drink a little bit, and he was so loose and so relaxed that I wish he could have a drink a little bit more often, just because it helped him unwind in a positive way. It wasn't like some of these guys get like real down and depressed, but and he said if he could drink he would, and he can't, so he really can't drink like that. But when I have the video, or I have a picture of him talking to his son through the WhatsApp, and like the look of relief on his face, I could just see his face. Like, I didn't even have to ask him what was wrong. I could just tell by the look on his face, because it would change completely if he was having problems. And I would be able to guide him back. And now he's doing this alone, and I hope to God those brothers have his back. That's why he doesn't like to be alone. He has to be with somebody, because he's fucking scared. I'm out here with no fear, so I'll just do this. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to talk. You're going to have to shoot me your phone number, because it would be nice to talk to another person who is going through this. You know, Kimberly, if you experienced stress in the womb, I was doing research with PTSD, you can actually, they had drawn the blood before and after a mother was exposed to stress. And there are certain levels that show up in the blood and also in the baby that put them in an extreme stress type situation before they're even born. So it can be almost, I don't want to say genetic, but it can be induced in the womb. There are very interesting changes that happen. That Unspeakable Mind book is, I really need to crack that open this weekend, but I really have to do nothing else but sit and listen to the book, because I take notes as I read, as I go through the chapters, so I can't be doing two things at once with the book. And I was reading on the plane and writing notes, but now when I get on the plane I fall asleep, because it puts me to sleep now. Yeah, I don't want to say anything about specific missions, but it's just even what I can talk about. I have all of his memories, all of them, all of his CDs. I took it all because I needed to know what happened. I needed to know what happened to my husband, because he did not come back from the PTSD clinic the same man he went in. I would almost much rather have dealt with the seizures, and I know he hated them, but the more stressed out he was, the more pressure it would put on that cyst, and he would have more seizures. So he was at risk of losing his license if they continued the way that they were going. So that's, I think, the only reason why he went. He just couldn't take it anymore. But when they removed it, man, he was not the same. It took the rest of his reasoning. I mean, he has no ability to not react emotionally. He cannot calm himself enough to think things through. And I kept begging him, please use your CBT models. Your doctor talked to you about this, and they shut right down when you say that shit. And it's true. I needed him to do that. And he needed to do that, and I don't think he's done it yet, to tell you the truth. I don't know what is going on with this thing. I think I need to reboot the computer. But, it's really scary, and honestly, it's a huge tragic situation. It's very, very tragic is what it is. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. And it sucks for the family who has to deal with it. Yeah, sweetie, this is just the beginning. I'm trying to figure out how to tell this freaking story so I can put it in a book. There are many spouses who are like, is this a book? I get comments on my Facebook page. Have you written a book? Oh, I am trying. But every time I remember, that's why I need to get this all straightened out and organized by date, because I have to be able to map out the patterns to be able to tell this in a fluid manner for it to make sense. When you see, like when you go to my blog that I have a link to on the PTSD page, when you go to the ones with his worksheets and you read his actual worksheets, that's all his writing. But when you read them and you see where his mind is at and what he has to work through, for the average person, this is everyday things that we process okay. But he actually has to sit and work through it because it is so hard. I mean, you do not understand what PTSD does to the brain, man. It destroys it. It completely remaps everything. 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 And they're not able to process it. And they have to actually work through it to not react. Because when they react to the stimulus, they don't have any control over the emotions, because what they're feeling is what they felt at the time of the trauma, when it happened. My husband's trauma, the first one happened that he's got written down in '03, I think. He killed a pregnant woman. They ran a checkpoint. They were on the way to the hospital. But they didn't understand to stop, and they did what they had to do and opened fire, and she died. And when he walked over there, he could see the fetus kick, and there was a tracer hole in her belly. He has nightmares almost every night. And many of them, that fetus will pop up. He'll go to get a beer out of the fridge in his dream, and the fetus will be in the fridge. I mean, he can't control it. And there's many other traumas. You know, he's lost men. He came out of one concussion blast, and he couldn't hear, and they were pointing at him. He was standing on the arm of one of his men who had died, and he didn't even know it. So the man has been through fucking hell. So I do not hate him. I cannot hate him. I can only encourage him to continue to get help, because I do fear one of these days those freaking demons, when his daughter leaves the house and she's no longer there for him to put his problems onto, because that's what's happened with her. She has secondary PTSD. She thinks she has it from the relationship of them and how bad that the divorce was, but that's not what's caused it. It's called emotional incest. It's where you almost have to care for your parent and worry about their stress and their struggles, and that's too much for a little girl. She's just now turning 14 in September. She's been taking care of her dad since she was like 5. So I'm looking at these freaking pictures of this little girl from back then, and in 2013, she was a very sad-looking child. She did not smile very much, and I know what's behind those eyes. I have her poetry. Her mother got pissed off at me for sharing it. Or no, it's her journal and her drawings. Her drawings are very violent in nature. They're very disturbing. And she didn't want me sharing them. She got on my PTSD page. It's like, my daughter's fine. And then 2 months later, she's overdosing on pills. She's really fine, huh? It's too bad that the only one who's like fighting for this child is the one that was attacked by the child. I'm not trying to harm the child. I'm not trying to do anything but make sure that she gets the help that she needs and asked for. And that's the thing. The child asked for the help. She goes to her guidance counselor almost every April. March and April. That's when Michael's trauma anniversaries are. And she used... Where is my X-Acto? This knife here. She took my craft knife and cut herself. I got the pictures on my blog as well. Still don't have a lid, because she lost it in her cuts. So now I gotta worry about stabbing myself. But went to her guidance counselor and said her and I got into a fight, and that's why she cut herself. We didn't get into a fight. That fight that she's like that happened between her and I happened a month prior to my husband and throwing me out of the house all of a sudden. She made up a fight, and when my husband went back on the video cameras to look from what the guidance counselor told him, he realized that nothing had happened and I had walked away and I wasn't going to argue with her, and he deleted just that part. But I was able to catch a few freaking still photos of me walking away. And I even remember my hand gestures. I'm like, I ain't going to do it, Lindsay. Not going to do it. And I walked away. And she went to school and told her guidance counselor that her and I got into a fight that fucking didn't happen. And instead of Michael going, here's the video evidence, nothing happened, he thought Child Protective Services was going to come beat down our door and steal his child because she was going to school and saying shit. So he threw me out, figuring that was going to solve the problem. The child said that she wanted her dad to herself when he was in the clinic right before he got home, and well, she got him. She got him. So it's up to him to deal with. It is not my child, but I will make sure I advocate for her as long as I can, because I don't think a 13-year-old should be overdosing on her pills and then go to the doctor, and then they increase the pills, and then once again he doesn't fill them. So then when he does finally fill them, because CPS is knocking on the door, because ex-wife is called, now she's on the highest dose and is tapered off. And when you rip a child on and off, 40 milligrams is the highest dose for a pediatric. She's on 60 now. And he's playing games with her medication just like he plays with his. He doesn't always take his meds. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I gotta take my meds. Oh, I don't remember if I took my meds today. And he doesn't need to be in charge of his daughter's meds if he can't be responsible enough for his own. I'm the one who kept track of all those things. Honey, did you take your medication today? It's just, I don't know what happened, man. I mean, I do, but it still doesn't make any sense. And it never will, because it's irrational behavior. Not strokes in the womb. It affects the, I don't even know where the hell I put my PTSD notebook. But it created, they were able to measure. It was, I don't know if it was a hormone that was, I think it was a hormone that was released. And it's measurable. And it wasn't there before the mother was exposed to trauma. Mom was exposed to trauma. It's affecting baby in the womb. Baby's born with, I think it's the stress hormone, high dose, possibly high cortisol. I have so many notes. I really need, I feel like an internet browser with 30 tabs open. I really do. I need a personal assistant. I really do. I need somebody to follow me around, take notes, and keep my life organized. That's what I need. It's bad. So, all that's going on. And in the meantime, I'm dealing with this fucking laptop in Best Buy. I'm pissed. Very pissed. But yeah, that's my life. That's kind of what's going on. And then I got people not fucking wearing masks, getting COVID. Like, I want a vacation from work. I don't want to have to continue to work because people are acting stupid. It's not what I want. Not at all. I would rather be unemployed than have to take care of people because they didn't want to listen. I don't know, man. Oh, man, that Unspeakable Mind book is freaking, that doctor is amazing, and I wish my husband was out in California so he could go see her. Shaylee Jane, she is, I really can't wait to get through the next 5 parts. I think it's got 7 parts. I just got through the 2nd. No, they used to say, oh, the baby's in a big safe water balloon. BS, they feel everything we do. They do. They do. They hear angry voices. They hear and feel everything. That's why I didn't want to be pregnant with my son. I was in so much pain with my back and other things that were going on. My restless legs get really bad when I'm pregnant. They won't give you anything. Tylenol. And I used to sleep in the bathtub with as much of the menthol salts as I could tolerate without everything going numb. And it was a very miserable pregnancy, but I have a very happy boy because of it. But I don't believe in abortion as a form of birth control, but the stress that my son felt while I was pregnant is probably why he has so many anxiety issues now. I'm a high anxiety person, and I was as a kid too, and it affected my son. Everybody bitches about his behavior, but he's got anxiety. You got to learn how to work with it, and instead you treat my son like he's an asshole, and he's not. He's actually a very good kid, very, very caring child. He loves animals, loves them to death, loves people. He's always out trying to make somebody happy. Used to find me at the old people's houses when I was at his age. I wasn't at my friends' houses. I was down the street visiting all the old people, listening to stories. And he takes after me in a lot of ways like that, man. It's really amazing. He's an amazing little dude. I cannot wait to get my hands on him. I just have to wait 9 extra days. But it's the way my work week works out. It's 2 weeks worth of work that I'll get paid for, so I really can't pass it up. It's just a few extra days. But yeah, I'm just going to owe him a lot more camping time, and that's okay. Mom can hold it down with the camping. I'm a backwoods camper. I begged my husband to take me so many times, and he's like, "Oh no, it's really hard and rugged." And I'm like, "No, you don't understand. That's what I like to do." And we had went to Sturgis, and he decided to go camping when it was hotter than hell. That was a great idea. Not. So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with right now, folks. So I'm just trying to keep it real, trying to maintain my shit through all of this, and not look at non-essential Linda in my fucking photos. I'm almost to 2014, so I only have like a year and a half left. And I won't have to look at her. I heard so many stories about this woman when Michael and I first began talking again in 2015, and he was just absolutely miserable with her, and I was just shocked. I actually, when somebody told me that they had gotten back together, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? He would never take her back. Never say never. Never say never. That's what fear does to a person. That's fear. So I hope he's happy. I hope he sleeps well at night, and I hope she tucks him in and holds his head, because he needs it. He really needs it. He used to sleep in my lap. So you guys are up there in the northeast area. The brain, we know nothing about the brain. We think we do, and the brain is a very, very freaking amazing organ. The brain, it is amazing. I can watch people fall from standing and die. And I can have people fall 30 feet off of a ladder and not break a bone and hit their head and be completely fine. And you're just like, wow. Skull fractures, everything. But the brain, I mean, but somebody falls from standing and has a major bleed and dies. We don't know. There's been, I remember watching Rescue 911 when I was a kid. And there was somebody out in the combine field, and they tripped and fell into the combine, and it went through the orbital area here in the eye, and right out the back of the head, through the occipital. And the guy was talking fine and lived. Went right through the brain, man, just right through. He was fine. And then you have other people who are not fine. We do not know. We just don't have all the answers. My first pregnancy by the corrections officer. Now my kid is in jail. Damn. Oh, Kimberly, I do videos. Go to my PTSD page. I've done a video on the first 2 chapters of The Unspeakable Mind where I break it down and talk about it. It's listed as Unspeakable Mind. It's actually on my blog. I also uploaded it to my blog. So it's easy to find. And I break it down and I talk about it. It's in there. They're about 20 minutes long. But go to the PTSD page. Go to my blog. The website link is there on the PTSD page. You'll need a pen and paper. Thank God there's a video that you can replay. And I'm not even done. And that's what I want to do, is educate. I'd love to educate, if you couldn't tell, the families and help them with the tools that they need to not go through what we just did again. This is the 4th time. I am wife number 4. All of them have ended equally as dramatic. Every one of them. One of them's a lesbian because of it. She decided when he got back from war, she was gay. That's what he was welcome home to. And I remember talking to him on the phone, or on the computer, when that happened. He was devastated. Fucking devastated. It was like this big insult to his masculinity. He had just gotten back from combat. He loved this woman. I think they had met during a different invasion, and then they got back together, or they got back in touch, and they got together. God, this sounds familiar. And he got married, and they have 2 kids together, and yeah, she became a lesbian. The first one had a mental breakdown. He got a phone call at work that his wife was running down the street naked, flooded the house. So it ain't just me. I am speaking up for all the women that came before me, whether or not they want me to or not. I don't give a damn. They're victims of abuse, number 1. His ex-wife, with the kids that are currently in the home, is completely fucking traumatized. You can tell by her comments. And I think she was drunk when she got on my page, by the way. But yeah, this is what we've all been through. All of us. So, I'm not the only one. And I know, and that's why on my PTSD page, they are not alone, and neither are we. And I didn't start researching until after everything happened. I did not prepare myself properly, and that's my own fault. I am the research queen, and I should have been doing research before I moved, but I think I was more afraid to find out. I got one of the veterans on my page. I got his daughter a sewing machine. Yeah, I also paid for his hotel when he went out to Pennsylvania to get seen by a non-VA doctor because they're screwing him around over there. And he had to go out to a specialist in Philly, so he was going to sleep at the airport. And I'm like, oh no, you're not. So I used the profits from my first craft show to pay for his hotel. And I bought his daughter a sewing machine because she's an amazing little girl. And I can't wait to see what she creates. Because she's made a bunch of really awesome dresses for her Barbies with hot glue and fabric. And I can't wait to see what she can do when she sews. It is a process, Emily. I was seeing a trauma counselor, but now I'm back on the road again. So I don't know if she'll do televisits now. I'm going to have to call over there because there are times where I really need to talk to her. This unit isn't so bad because there's not, and I honestly think some of the level of death that we were seeing has slowed down, and I'm looking at a bunch of dead people right now. That's great. I think that we are seeing a lot less death with COVID right now because I'm hoping it's because what we have learned so far, we have changed our approach on how we handle it. It's not because of social distancing, I'll tell you that much right now. I think it's because we're not being so aggressive in the beginning. Early on, we were told to intubate. Intubate early, intubate early. Well, that's what was causing harm. If we allow people to work their way through the virus and only intervene when absolutely necessary, I think we've probably prolonged life. I'm hoping that's why we're not seeing as high of a death count. People are still infected. Oh yes, and that means they're spreading it. So you still need to be careful, even though people aren't dying as much. There are a lot of other problems that arise from COVID beyond just getting sick and getting over it. The lung damage is permanent. Not to mention you're at high risk for a bunch of other shit. That's why it's still very, very important to wear a damn mask. Please. Please wear a mask. I don't want to see you in my ICU. If I do, you're going to get a lecture right before we stick a tube in you. This is a lot. And there's a lot of people dealing with PTSD. You're a Google. You know, I feel like a Google. I do. But I ask Google a lot of stuff too. And then I have to go filter through bullshit to figure out what's real and what's not. But a lot of this began because I was in a spouse's PTSD support group, and I'm still in there. And when I was reading their stories, and I had even sent my husband some of them, I'm like, look, you know, there are other people going through this besides us. Look. And what are you doing? You bad kitty. You're bad. Quit unplugging my stuff. I gotta show you all this. I don't know if you can see down here. Hang on. I have a fur ball sitting on top of my hard drive. Rose, she threw my external drives that I had sitting on top there off. My heating pad's on the bed, but I'm over here, and the tower is warm. Asshole cat. This is the stuff I deal with. My cat holes. They won't come sit in my lap unless I'm outside. Or I'm on the bed. But, yep, I started speaking up, and, well, shit happens. But I'm going to help other people because of it. My trauma will not be in vain. Alrighty, I think I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to go put some glitter on some fairy lanterns. Crazy Nancy and non-essential Linda. We call her Donkey Ducci. Her last name is Ducci. One of my friends had seen one of my videos last summer when I was talking about Donkey Ducci, and she checked her friends list. And this dumb bitch had added one of my former coworkers from like 10 years ago. She went through my friends list and was sending out friend requests to people. Woman, get a fucking life. I am seriously, I have no idea. She's a sick puppy though. She's a very, 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 very sick and ill woman. What she did to the woman prior to me was even worse. I'm sitting here looking at, and what's funny is she was stupid enough to use some of the same fucking profiles, and I have no link to either of these people except for through my husband. He's the only common denominator. She just come and found me, harassed me on Facebook, and I figured out who she was. I am a great detective. I'm a great sleuth. I could have had many professions. Yeah, I figured out who she was very, very quickly. And called her out, and then she went apeshit. She's toned down a little bit now, but as you all have seen, you know, she sent people requests. Should I follow Misty Huffman? And that's exactly how I knew who it was, because she used my fucking last name. She always uses my last name. I have no idea why. And she hates my purple hair, which is another reason I love to keep dyeing it. Yeah. Welcome to my life. Like, I am worthy enough to be stalked. I'm glad somebody finds my life so fucking interesting. She really wanted my husband. And when him and I weren't speaking for 6 months, he went out and finally met her. And what's really funny is, as I'm going through all of his files, he's got a folder labeled friends, and it's got a picture of like me and my daughter back when him and I first met, and through the years he's got some pictures of us in there and a bunch of other people that are friends. There is not one single fucking picture of this woman. Even the pictures that she took on when they went out in Vegas and I think New York when they met up, he has no pictures. They're all hers. The ones that she smeared all over my Facebook and put everywhere of her and him. Oh, you know, he's got that same look in his eye with me. And I'm like, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He explained to me that he did not feel attracted to you, and that's why he did not decide to pursue a relationship with you. I've talked to Michael about her. I remember the conversation clearly after we got married. And she was talking to him while he was inpatient. And when he got home, he was saying things that didn't make sense. And then she said some of those things in her anonymous messages to me. And he only talked to a few people when he was inpatient. And she was one of them, because she sent a bunch of cards that her friends, a class, had made him for get well. I have that fucking envelope, by the way. He doesn't have the cards either. I took all of it. And I realized who it was very quickly, because when I got home and was going through his Facebook messages, hers was up and she had asked if he had filed for a divorce yet. So she was all into this and pushing him and prodding him and manipulating him, thinking that she would get with him again. And then he went and got non-essential Linda back. That was even fucking funnier. Good luck, Nancy. Good luck. Find something else to do with your time besides harass people from 1,900 miles away. You dumb bitch. And then she gets her sister involved too, Lynette. She's a real prize, man. Oh my God, this woman's got some major fucking issues. Yep. Story of my life, man. Yep. So I'm just gonna go back and craft some more. Epilepsy, yeah, that's a hard one. Could it make her gay? I don't know about how that works. I mean, I have gay friends, but I don't sit and probe their thought processes too much I don't want to be I'm just more curious than anything, but I don't want to be offensive. But I don't know if it could make her gay. It could scare her away from men, that's for sure, after what he put her through. She probably has a lot of trust issues with men. Possibly. I would say that it probably relates more to trust issues than anything. And not being able to trust men. I mean, I don't know exactly what happened between them because I don't have any documentation to look back on. But I know it wasn't pretty. It was equally as dramatic. But he's got all these fears, and all of these fears play into the next relationship because he doesn't handle them. And here we are in a fucking shitstorm, man. I don't even know what to say. I really don't. Last thing I said to my stepdaughter was, until he gets help, things are not going to change, and they haven't. They haven't. And I got jumped on for, you told my dad this, and you told me this, and blah, blah, blah. Well, it was true. Until he gets help, nothing's going to change. And that's very, very true. I don't know, man. I really hope that he figures it out, because it's really sad. He's got some major issues. unfortunately. Yes, I'm still in El Paso right now. Yep, I am. I'll be leaving Tuesday night. I'll be heading back over to Laredo for a week. But I'm going to drive this time. Sick and tired of flying, sick and tired of sitting near people on a fucking airplane wearing gloves because they're stupid. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Sorry, I'm trying to sort out my Christmas photos from his. So everything's wrapped up. Like, all of my kids are mixed in with, even when we weren't together, I got shit. I didn't even know him then, or I knew him, but we weren't talking. But all of it is mixed in with my children's stuff, and it's like I'm really tired of looking at his fucking memories. I'm almost to 2014. I'm getting there. I'm trying. It was a goal is to get this freaking stuff done. I keep going back and forth. I go work on other stuff. Rose is like, what? You mean my cat, Rose? She's a freaking pain in the ass child. She's always up my ass and getting into things when I don't want her to. Yeah, like Dexter. Only I'm not a homicidal maniac. Yeah, Kimberly, shoot me a message. All my exes live in Texas. He brought me here. He thought that I was going... He tried to destroy me to the point where I would have to go home to my family because I had nowhere else to go. But that didn't work out. I was able to take care of myself, like I always do, and I remained in El Paso, and I told him, I fucking told him, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to haunt you. Oh, I know you will. Yep. Well, I like it here. I like the people. I like the weather. I like the culture. He acts like I hate this place, and I don't. I was amazed when I first moved here at the complete difference. You know, you can walk down the street and there'll be a bar inside of a really obscure, like, place, and you're like, there's a fucking bar in here? You know, they don't even look like they can have a food license, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, I was a little surprised and shocked. It doesn't mean I hated it here. I was just amazed at the differences, as it would be anywhere that you moved. I don't know. It's beautiful here. I can drive a couple hours away to the mountains. There's water. There's trees. I have a favorite camping spot that's at the very fucking top of a mountain. You know, I'm the kind of person to throw my shit in the car and I'll figure it out on the way. My dad, when we went to Vegas and up to the Grand Canyon, he about lost his mind. Aren't you going to book a hotel? No. There's nobody out right now. It is the off season and I'm going to stop when I'm tired. I will get a hotel then. I'm not going to try to push myself farther than I want to go. He was having a fit. He wanted me to book a hotel. We had to have a plan. Well, I like not having a plan. I don't like being bound by, you know, rules and time constraints. And that's one thing I hated about having to deal with my husband and his motorcycle club, is everything we did was on their time schedule. And I don't want to operate on his club's time schedule. If I want to go investigate, I used to just freaking disappear. We would be out doing some event and I would be like sleeping next to the bike on the sidewalk because I needed to go horizontal because of my back. And I wouldn't tell anybody. I would just wander off and he would lose his shit. You're not safe doing that. Why? And then it got to be a running joke about me out sleeping next to the bike. You know your old lady's laying on the ground? Yep. But it's just because I'm chronically tired and I don't like the sun and you just made me ride all day in it. So I'm going to take a nap on the ground like a hardcore biker and take a nap. I would. So that's just how I roll. You know, he's in the Rough Rider Motorcycle Club. Well, I could definitely ride hard, whether it be in a car or on the back of a motorcycle. I haven't been back on the motorcycle since him and I split, and to tell you the truth, every time I hear one, I have like a spike of fear run through my heart, and I'm looking for colors and cuts and stuff. So I'm not in any hurry to get back on a bike. I don't give a shit. Linda, non-essential Linda, that's all she tastes is bikers. She was trying to sleep with people in his club, and that's why I'm really surprised he took her back because of all that. But that's his problem. I guess you're keeping it in the family and off the streets. Look at it that way. But yeah, I really don't miss living my life that way. It's not really my way of life. And yeah, I'm here doing me, and I'm good, and I'm safe. That's all that matters. Yep, you wouldn't be where you hit it. No, I honestly wouldn't. All right, guys, you have a good night. Kimberly, go to the PTSD page. Go to my blog. The Unspeakable Mind videos are on there. You can, and they're also on the PTSD page. I don't know how easy they are to find. They're easier to find on the blog because I don't have a whole bunch of blog posts, and they're labeled Unspeakable Mind. So, Hell's Angels, yeah, that's pretty hardcore. Definitely didn't have to. I didn't go out to Tombstone, and that was our first ride together. That was the weekend that his daughter said we got into a fight. I didn't go to Tombstone because there was a lot of heat between 4 motorcycle clubs, and I did not feel safe. I do not carry a weapon. I don't want a damn weapon. I'd probably shoot myself in the foot, but a lot of the sisters are in the military, or they know how to shoot and also carry a concealed weapon, and I did not feel safe. If my husband, who's a sergeant at arms, was busy doing something else, he did not have time to try to protect his wife. So I stayed home and crafted. He didn't like that. It was actually a huge problem between us because I would not get back. I didn't ride on the motorcycle with him for like 5 months. I had him take his daughter. She wanted to ride with him so bad. Go. She did it for 5 months straight. I refused to get on the bike because he was having seizures when we got home from our honeymoon, and I did not feel safe on the bike. I was very, very scared. So he was making comments to me when he got out of the clinic. Are you ever going to trust me to get back on the bike again? I miss having my wife on the bike, and, you know, all this other shit. And I rode with him a couple times, and that was it. I mean, we went out to a couple events in March that I went on with him, and other than that, I didn't want to. I really didn't. Really didn't. Oh, look, non-essential Linda's New Year's Eve kiss. Bitch, please get off my Google photos. Tired of looking at her. He was the leader. Yeah, we have the Banditos here. That's our dominant club. And there's been a lot of problems on the eastern side of the state. There's been a lot of problems. And honestly, I have not seen a lot of colors. And there's like 50-something motorcycle clubs in El Paso, in the coalition. And I don't see many colors on the highway. Even driving Uber, I am out all the fucking time, everywhere, all around this entire city, and I have not seen many clubs riding together with their colors on. I don't know what's going on. I know there's a lot of profiling with the police, and I don't know if they're laying low, but when I first moved here, there was bikes everywhere. Everywhere I moved, you know, there was all these different colors. I only see one club usually out riding, and it's not one that I'm overly familiar with. I know who they are, and I know the patch because, you know, I've lived here for a while, but other than that, I don't know what's going on that they're laying low, but I definitely don't want to be involved in no fucking guns. And my husband had one pulled on him. That's at the bar. I'm telling him that this dude was on coke and acting real fucked up, and he was thinking I was a dude. I had all my gear on. It was cold out, and I'm trying to flag my, you know, sniper husband down, whose job it is to pay the fuck attention to shit. And I'm like trying to swing wide around this guy, and he drives right past me. And I'm like, trying to give him signs that the dude's got a gun. You know, he's a black guy. I know the hood. This dude's all fucked up on coke. And he didn't get it until that gun was right in his face. I had to go in and get the president. Like, hey, he got a gun pulled on him out in the fucking parking lot. And, yeah. I don't want to have to worry about this shit. Not my monkeys, not my circus. Leave me the fuck alone. And don't be calling my exes telling them I need to pay child support. Swear to God. I'm in El Paso, honey. Yep. There was a lot of... When I was growing up, the Scorpions motorcycle clubhouse was not too far from my dad's glass shop. And there was a lot of problems in Detroit not too long ago with a couple clubs getting blown up. I mean, blown up. Like, blown up. Another one, they drove in and, like, busted through the front doors with a pickup truck. I don't want to be involved in this shit. If you want to ride a motorcycle, fine. You don't need a fucking patch on your back. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I think Michigan's outlaw territory, if I'm not mistaken. I don't even care anymore. Just stay away from me. Alright, guys, go get some rest. I know it's late on the East Coast. I will yak at you later. And pray for my fucking computer.